Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of the Bell Zone. I'm your guy, Victor Bell. A little bit about me. If this is your first time meeting me, hearing about me, any of that stuff, I've been investing in real estate for over 20 plus years. I've done $57 million worth of real estate. Started with a $10 book in a store that no longer exists. But I went on to do a lot of big things investing in that one little book, and it's taken me all the way up until this time right now. And right now, why is this important? Why am I here today? Is because I started getting into multifamily. All the deals that I've done, I made more money in multifamily deals than I did with residential single family. Even though, you got to feed the kitty. So like while that's happening, I bought a couple pretty houses and held on to them, turned around and resold them, made that money. But I always dump right back into multifamily because multifamily always paid me more because of the cash flow, the appreciation. I bang all the day looking for those things, but it's a competitive market out there. So today's episode for you guys is what you need to know about a real estate deal, right? Like in order for you to do a real estate deal, you have to know, not just have knowledge, not just have information, not just like any of that stuff. You have to know, right? Because you're going to get asked questions by banks, by lenders, by investors, by brokers, by owners, everybody involved in the deal. You're going to have to know certain things before you get started. So look, as an investor, I want to tell you up front, real estate investing, if you're going to do stuff like I'm doing, whether you're doing it with me or you're going to do it by yourself, doesn't matter. You still need to do it. There's things that you got to know. All right. So what is it? I actually wrote it down because there's a couple of them because I can get long-winded. And like I always tell you, man, I don't want to keep you long. So I'm going to get my trusty whiteboard. Thank you, Dean. It's my buddy Dean bought me this whiteboard because the one I also had was kind of junk. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see it. All right, so the number one thing you got to that's most important in any real estate situation, no matter what, is the deal. Boom. You got to look at deals. You got to look at a lot of deals. Like I look at a lot of multifamily deals. I looked at two yesterday to the tune of around about $40 million, $41 million. It was a 60 unit. There was another one that was a 30 unit. We went to the other one today with a buddy of mine that we're probably going to partner with. That was a 33 unit deal. Actually, I missed that deal. It already closed. So again, just because something's gone doesn't mean you can't buy it in the future. Because again, this is real estate. Same guys buying the same stuff over and over and over. So, but the deal is the most important thing. Man, it's hard finding deals, right? If you get into any market, you got to be looking at a lot of deals. I say this in my book. Like if you go to How to Create Wealth Investing in Apartment Buildings on Amazon, my book is over there. But you got to look at a lot of deals. You got to know exactly what a deal is. A good deal, a bad deal, the worst areas, good areas, properties on the market, properties that just sold, properties that ain't selling good, properties that guy's been owning forever, properties that the owner wants to sell but he won't go to market, the properties that the owners go to market because they can't sell it off market. You got to know what is a deal for you. You look at enough deals, man, you know what works and what doesn't work. All right, so that's number one. Number two, location. Location. You got to know the location. For me, I look at locations where the location is going to give me a lift. Not only am I looking at deals where like, hey, if we raise the rents $100, $200 over the next couple of years, $400 over the next 5 to 7 years, will this happen? Not only are we going to raise the rents, but will the location itself, location number two, will this location be valuable? A lot of times people buy zip codes. Like if you go near a resort, that location, properties near resorts, properties near hotels, properties near hospitals, properties near Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and Sprouts. Like there's a location play there, right? Because people have more money in those things. They have discretionary income is what it's called. So next, you got to know the rents, right? You got to know the rents. You can look online and find out the rents. You can call the management company and find the rents. When I'm out looking at deals, I'll call the management company while I'm standing there on the site. If there's a sign out there, I'll call like, hey, I'm looking for 1 and 2 bedrooms. How much are the rents? I'll just ask. You got to know the rents. And you need to know the rents of the deal you're looking at and all the properties around it. You can't just look online and go, okay, I'm going to go to apartment.com and I'm going to find rents. You can so you can get an idea. But sometimes when you're out there, you want to be able to do some secret shopping is like what we like to call it. So you need to know the rents of your property you're looking at, the competitors' rents, the people who may be building down the street, what kind of amenities that they got. So you can compare the rents for your deal and brand new amenities or your competitors across the street. Or if somebody's selling a property and is getting ready to trade, the rents are going to go up because they got to meet and match returns for their investors over time. That's a good thing. So you got to know the rents. You got to know them like the back of your hand, like this side of your hand. All right. Next, competition. Who's your competition? Who's the person that can, if somebody was looking for rentals in a deal in your area and they're looking to rent a multifamily unit, where else can they go? You got to know exactly what that is. You need to know them by name. These are our competitors. This is the person that we're up against. This is the person fighting for tenants the same way we'd be fighting for tenants in the location for those same rents with the deals that we're looking at. Are they comparable? You got to know this, man. This is a lot of work. So next, insurance. I have insurances, but it's insurance. You need to call a couple of different. You need to know what your insurance is going to be when you're looking at a deal. Could be an older deal, built in the 80s. Could be built in the 90s. Could be a brand new build. Your insurances are going to vary based on location, the age of the property, deferred maintenance, which means like properties that haven't been fixed up in a while. Like all this matters. That's super important. It could have had some issue down the street or in a specific area, or the panel boxes need to be changed out because it's an older building. You need to know that, hey, maybe the insurance is going to require certain things before they will give me this price. But you need to know what that is. So you got to know who's the insurance is and what that's going to be for you looking at a deal. All right. Next, banks. Who are the banks? Who wants multifamily? Who wants pizza in this area? Who's willing to lend on this stuff? Who's aggressively saying, hey, look, we want more multifamily. We're willing to give you a better rate for it. We're willing to fight for your business. Man, I've had bankers be like, hey, let's take you to lunch. Let's sit down and talk. And they started talking to me about my deals, how to win my business, how competitive they can be, deals that they've lent on similar to the products that we're already having in our apartment portfolio. This happens all the time. Who is the bank that wants to give you money? And next, who's the lenders? Who's the lenders in that market that want to fight? They want to lend money in that market. Their job, banks and lenders' jobs, that's their product, money. They lend money to people. So in that market, each market's different. You may have a bank and a lender in a specific market, let's say San Diego County, like up north. That's different from a lender who's a bank or a lender like that's local or regional that goes, hey, we actually are more bullish on South. Like you need to know that wherever your market is, whatever it is you're looking at, you need to be able to say, hey, who are the banks? Who are the lenders? Who are we looking at? These are lenders as it relates to commercial mortgages, right? Next, jobs. What are the jobs? Who's your target customer? Who's your target tenant? Who's your resident per se, right? Like where do they work? Who can afford the rents that you're going to do times 3? So like if your rent's $2,000, then they got to make $6,000 a month, right? Because it's times 3. So like who makes $2,000 a month in that local market and or where around it? Are they going to want to drive? Are your amenities good enough for them to say, we're going to call this place home and I'm going to drive an hour away from where I'm at because I got to get paid, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month to afford to live in this place? Like, where are the jobs and what are the jobs? And also, what are the demographics? Demographics for me, I look at what are the other houses around my property or the property that I'm looking at? What are they selling for? If I'm buying an apartment building around properties that are like $800,000, $900,000, $1 million, $1.2 million, that's what they sell for, then I'm like, okay, the demographics around this property, people want to live in this community because the price points of the houses are higher. There's jobs that can support that stuff. There's more families in this thing. That is so important. This is a part of, you got to know to do deals. You got to know, man. You got to know. I know this is a lot. I know this is a lot of information. I don't want to make that way for you. Next, who are the brokers? Who are the guys controlling the deals? Look, you can find off-market deals. You can find on-market deals. My last couple of deals were off-market, but they came way through a broker. So who's the broker? Who's the Marcus and Millichap guys, the CBRE guys, the Berkshire Hathaway people, the people at Cushman and Wakefield? Like, who is the brokers that control the size of deal that you're looking at? If it's a small guy, is it a one-off guy? Who is it, right? That's why I have big or small. You got to know who's the broker that can make your dreams happen. And this is a thing all on itself. How do you even get a guy to call you back? I can tell you, I call brokers all the time. They don't call me back until maybe the 3rd or 4th phone call, plus an email, plus a text. Man, I hammer because I just want the information, right? This is not even buying. It's just to get you called back. All right, next, who are the owners? Who owns multifamily in the area? Who's the big player? Who's the mid player? Who's the mom and pops that are constantly buying in the area where you're at? Because let me tell you, whoever owns a property will sell a property, and owners eventually turn around and they buy stuff again too. So you need to know who the players are. Because if you're going to do this like me, this is a long play for you. You're not just going to do this one time. You're going to do it 10 times, 100 times. You're going to be in this deal minimum 10 years. That's how I look at stuff. If it's less, great. But I plan on this is a long marriage, man. We're married. We're together. So who are the owners in your market? You got to know. All right. Next, the team. So out of all the things that I said, fine, you have brokers, you need to do that. You have owners and stuff like that. Do you have a team calling people and say, hey, we're interested in buying properties in your area. We want to pick up about 400 units in your immediate area. We saw you had that. Would you be interested in coming to market and selling if we can give you a substantial price? Like if you don't have somebody doing that, you got to do it. Man, like I said, doing real estate, multifamily, where you're doing this isn't a passive thing. You may invest and get passive income, which is what, we tell our investors to be able to invest in Bell Capital. But this isn't passive. If you want to do this yourself, you're going to have to know this so you have confidence in yourself, what you're doing, why you're doing it, so you won't lose money. But these are things you got to know. And then not only having a team to call brokers, owners, big and small, follow up with all these people, say bring deals into your space so you can go look at them. Man, after you get them, who's going to manage the deals? Who's the managers in your market? Who manages the size of deals that you're looking at? Right? If it's a small deal, yeah, you can self-manage, but that's a job. That's not passive, right? That's extremely active. All of this takes energy. All of this takes time. But who are the managers that are managing properties like the ones that you want? You got to know them. Know them by name, right? If you call a bank or a broker, that's the first thing. What kind of experience do you have, and what is your management plan? Oh, we got a local management company that manages 80 to 120 units. We're doing that. Plus, we're going to kind of bring our own people to be leasing and to take care of people to implement a value add plan. Boom. You got to know what that looks like. Who's going to manage your property? Who manages your size of property? And who's going to be the manager? What's the company name? Are you going to bring on your own leasing agents to also work with the management company? What's that going to cost? You got to know all this stuff. And if you don't know, man, you're not going to do a deal. I can promise you, man, it's a lot of work. I talk fast, dude, I know. But here's why I'm doing that. One, I don't like to make really long videos. I'll make some long videos as it relates to training. This is just hop spot. But I want to share this with you because this is important. I didn't know all this stuff. I had to stumble my way through it, get a deal here and there, lose a deal, not get picked, figure out because no one knew who I was. Like, it takes a long time to be able to do this, much less put into a deal and not be afraid to lose your money. I'm now understanding the do's and the don'ts of this thing. You only need three things. You need a deal, right? You need to find the money that's debt and equity. Like what we're talking about here. You need people to call, right? So you need to find the debt and the equity, and then you also have to find the management and the management companies to manage the deals while you go off and look for more deals. Like, those are the three main components to be successful in this business, but there's a lot of information that you have to do to even make this thing work. That's why this is so important. As I said, doing this is not a passive thing. This is a full-time job. You got to be out looking at deals. You got to be out talking to people. You got to be making phone calls. You got to have boots on the ground. It's my alarm. You got to have boots on the ground that give you knowledge so you know what you're doing, right? So, like I said, this is the name of this video. This is it's a slight video, and I ran through it pretty quickly. Can you even see that anymore? No. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. So, I'll look at them again. Once you really understand the amount of work that goes into, especially the multifamily, this is for residential too, I guess, but not really. I just look at it like, this is for apartment players. This is what I do now. This is the thing that really works. I know for a fact. The number one thing is the deal. You got to find a deal. The hardest thing about all this is the deal. It's not finding the money. It's not finding the debt. It's not finding the down payment. It's not even finding the managers. It's finding a deal. Because if you can't find a deal, none of this even matters, right? But you need to know this to even know what a good deal is for you and your investment strategy. So I hope this helps you guys. Reach out to me anytime. Like this video. Comment on this video. Thumbs up my video. Thumbs down this video. If you hate this video, comment, dude, I hated it. You talk too fast. Way too much information. I don't need all that. Or I love this video, Vic. I love you. I love your energy. I want to invest with you. Reach out to me. Whatever that is, don't matter. But if you hate it, don't be a hater and a hider at the same time. Post a comment. Like this video. Share it. Whatever. All right. So look, I care about you guys. I love you guys. I hope you guys do great things. Love to have you with us over at Bell Capital, investing with us. If you need help doing your own deals, we're doing something right now. Go to victorbell.com/real estate training. I have my #1 real estate training actually there. I'm offering it up to you guys for $197. Man, you're going to spend that in gas this week. I promise you. I think I just put $80 in my car earlier today. And if I do it one more time this week, I'm already almost there. But I want to do that because I want to help more people know what I know, help you make better decisions, whether you're going to do this yourself or just know what I do in my own business. You get that information, and I truly want to help you. And you have access to me by doing it. You'll become a part of my family, a part of my real estate peeps, and I'll definitely do everything I can to make sure that you succeed. All right, so if you guys need me, feel free to reach out to me. Go to victorbell.com. And like I said, just go check it out. victorbell.com/real estate training. It can't hurt you to take a look at it at all, but it's there for you. I made it a no-brainer. I want you to have it. And or go to bell-capital.com and hit the button there, invest now, and you can either schedule a call with me or someone on my team, or you can take a look at what we got you want to fall asleep, you're welcome to thumb through all the documents so that way you can take a look at exactly what we're doing. You got to be accredited investor, though. You can't just get in right now. It's for accredited investors only. But that's how you get in contact with us, VictorBell.com, or you can go to bell-capital.com to find out about investing with us. Man, I would love to have you. Okay, let's talk. You have a great day today. And go out there. Make sure you make wealth your duty. It is mine. Wealth is my duty. I'll continue to do that for me and also for you guys. Let's talk soon, guys. Let's do this thing. Have a great day.